That's fucking hilarious. Alright, let me share this shit. Ooh. Get through it. Join guys. Oh, that's strong. Oh, man. Jarvis, what's up? It's gonna be oh, Sharky, what's up? Wait, what? Hand to GT? No, bro. What? At least you didn't say shield like Dorky Dad did, if you know what I'm saying. But we're gonna talk about that. Death Scourge starting up. Jarvis, how you been? Been a while, I haven't seen you around. Alright. Sweet. Oh man. Death Scourge. Reaper, welcome. Welcome. I'm gonna give it another 50 seconds, 47, 69 seconds, whatever. We're gonna start before the timer runs out because the music runs out and I don't like that. This is a weird song. It stops literally with 1 or 2 minutes left. Even though this pumps me up. I've been using this for my streams for so long. Oh man, it's gonna be a fun stream. We're gonna do it fun. We're gonna bring entertainment value back to MSF. Make MSF great again. Jarvis says, been hanging out with the Alliance. What's new? Well, I'll tell you what's new. It's gonna be fun. Sharky says, alright, see, at 2 minutes, let's go pound it down. So Sharky says, this is gonna be the worst Scourge for me. I'm so unprepared. My minions suck. And does that mean that your hand sucks too, or does it stroke? I forgot which way it goes. But definitely you should probably not invest in your hand minions. You should use your hand on other things. However, don't be like Dorky Dad. This is what I'm going to get into. Because he did a video, I think, 1 week ago, where he talked about shield. And this is what he was going to be doing. And he brought shield to like G16 as well as level 90. And I'm like, what is he doing? And he didn't even have access to the test servers at that point. And he made multiple disclaimers saying, hey, don't do what I did, even though I'm going to release a video and thousands of people will actually watch it and probably do exactly what he did. And oh my goodness, that was that was a mistake. So I think because the Death Scourge, we're going to talk about this. It's starting for all of us, I believe. I don't know if it's a time zone limited. It starts in about 6 hours. 6 hours, and you're probably watching from the U.S. and it's going to be today. It's going to be Friday. For me, it's going to be Saturday. However, I'll be in the US, I'll be in LA literally in about 3 days. So during the middle of the Scourge, I need to make sure that I actually reset, do a bunch of Node 5 and 10s and all of that before I get to the US. Because you know what? I'm going to be on a plane for like 15 hours. I won't have access to MSF. What am I going to do? I don't know. I know. I'm going to drink. Cheers. Oh yeah, what am I drinking? I'm still drinking this. This is really good. It's Woodford Reserve Double Oaked, and I found out that because I didn't buy this, my buddy did, and apparently it's 200 Sing dollars. So what is that? $1 US is 1.4 Sing dollars. So I don't know. This is like 130 US dollars. I'm like, there's so much taxes, so many levies and taxes in terms of alcohol to get it into Singapore. And it's ridiculous, guys. It's ridiculous. And I'll get into a rant about that very soon because I'm moving all of my shit to Singapore, and I have like Game of Thrones bottles, the limited edition White Walker, whatever. And for each individual bottle, they want to charge me literally more than the bottle is worth, which is absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, catching up with chat. So Stitcher for MVP, yes, Jarvis, 1,000%. And we knew this going into it. If you build up Ravagers, you're set. And if you build up Skeleton, you're half set. So then you combine those two and boom, it's like Power Rangers. All of a sudden, it's going to be the best team ever for the first 2 nodes, at least, of the Death Scourge. So Sharky said he did repeat the disclaimer a few times, but nobody's going to understand. Like, he's making great content. But the thing is, if he does it, people look up to him. People are saying, hey, Dorky, what should I bring up? Oh, you did Shield. So even though you said don't, I'm going to bring up Shield because they probably did a few Shield things here and there, and they're going to keep going. And that was a huge mistake, which is fine. I mean, Dorky also mentioned it in his latest 2 videos about go with Rav Mercs, right? Ravagers, the 3 minions, as well as the Mercs. I just actually took, what is that? The Shield, Merc Shield, Merc Riot Guard. I just think of him as a huge shield. Not the shield, but just the guy with the shield. And it's actually pretty good. I accidentally screwed up. I screwed up. And basically, I thought that I had 4 minions instead, or 5, or whatever. I can't count because I'm drinking. And I go to minion, and I realize that I just brought Merc Riot Guard to level 80. He was like 65. And I brought him to 80, and it's like, whoops, I already have 5 minions ready. I already have the Rav Mercs or Merc Ravagers or whatever you want to call them. They're ready to go. I'm not going to bring the freaking level 90. That's insane. That's a ton of, what is that? That's like 2.2 million gold. I mean, 2.4 times 5 is over 10 million. What? How rich are you guys in this game? I mean, even though they've been showering us with gold, and not training mats, but that's besides the point. Don't waste your gold on bringing these guys up all the way to level 90. So this is the thing about Death Scourge. It's starting literally in 6 hours. What are we going to do? Well, this is the team to do it, at least from the content creators that actually tested it on the test server. Of course, why would Scopely ever give me access to that? Because literally I'm making content and I'm drinking on camera. Maybe they should, maybe they wouldn't. I mean, I don't give a shit. I just want to bring fun content to the community because I love this game. I love this community. I love the people that actually focuses on this. And, it doesn't matter if you're trying to flex with your Ravagers or you're trying to flex with your cards. It's all about actually focusing in on this game and what type of entertainment value does it bring to you. So this is the thing where we talk about Ravagers, right? Pause. Yeah, Jaffer says pause, take a sip. I mean, that's the only time I get to breathe. This is what happens when I drink. I talk faster, and I enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy drinking. I mean, why do you think my name is Drunken Gleam, right? So, minions, focus on the minions. Focus on your minion. What? Somebody just said in Discord that they heard Gleam has a tattoo on his dick that says okay when he gets excited. It spells Oklahoma. 89. Okay, that's pretty funny. That is absolutely hilarious. Because in our Alliance chat, they're talking about we're talking about tattoos, and because maybe you've seen my previous content where we did a lot of war attacks, right? My buddy CV in the same Alliance, we did a lot of war attacks, and he's fully tatted up. I love that. And I wish I had tats. I'm just like, bro, I want tats, but I don't know where to get it. And now they're making fun of me. They're like, put it on your dick. Okay. That's a little extreme. Let me start with something, at least a tramp stamp for God's sake. Like, at least something so that the girls can enjoy it while I'm walking and shaking my ass. So anyway, now my hair is drying up, so I'm going to put on my hat. Otherwise, it's going to get all over the place. And we're going to get into some Marvel Strike Force content, not just tattoos on dicks. One thing interesting I just want to talk about recently is that we moved to Zone 4 for war, and it's been pretty much a cakewalk. It's been absolutely easy. Zone 1, where we were at the top Elo hell for literally like 6 months or maybe 9 months. I don't know how long. And that sucked. But look at this. Sigma, and they are a, what is that, diamond, not diamond, what is that, gold alliance. They aren't that great, to be honest. And literally, they don't do much, which is okay. Which is okay. Maybe they're not a war alliance. Maybe they're just like a lot of other alliances where they focus on raiding, and they focus on raiding, which is fine. You don't. Not everybody in this world has to be as competitive as we are. We came to Zone 4 to understand not only just to get out of Elo Hell, which is it's like literally every day or every war we would get Legion, Mutiny, and then Mobile 360, right? Mobile Gamer 360. I'm like, oh, we gotta go up against him again. Gosh, what a fun guy. And what is that? Like you go against Tadano Mac. It's like what we're going literally up against the trust fund babies of the world. It depends on how much money they want to put in this game, and we're not about that. Actually, I believe more than half the alliance is actually free to play, which is very impressive for our TCP level. And we got to the top tier, and it was great. It was great for a while, but it got really freaking draining. So that's why we took it a shot. We went to Zone 4, but ironically, that weekend when we actually went to Zone 4, I think Super Troopers, which is basically Dorky Dad, as well as Baron's new, or re-resurrected, or resurrected. Is re-resurrected? It's like resurrection? Is it re-resurrection? Anyway, so they basically came up from the dead again. Or maybe the first time. Maybe it's the second time. It's like Remonex coming back to this game. But it's really exciting to actually go up against Zone 4 new alliances because we're not seeing the same people over and over again. Another funny fact was that we recently took on Taco Shooter. If you know Taco Shooter, one of the best content creators in Marvel Strike Force. We went up against them. I think Savage Kitten Corns or something. I forgot what they're called. Super strange name, which is great. I love it. And they're not a top tier war alliance, even though they are very TCP heavy, which is fine, which is great. We do what we do in this game. We focus on what we focus on, and for us, it's really about basically having lower TCP, like a smaller TCP, and then going up against the big dudes, if you know what I'm saying. It's like this versus this. It's like, how are you going to do this? Except sometimes we're just like, and we win. Actually, most of the time, when we actually punch up, pretty much 90% of the time. So you look at where we are, strongest alliances. Oh, we are past 50. We're 51. No, that's interesting. And a bunch of Chinese fucking alliances. Wow, they got some big. Wait, this is a Plat 2 alliance, and they have the same TCP as us. Holy crap! Are they trying to, compensate for something? I think they are. Wow, on your left, okay, double base. Wow, this is Pong D. Wow, this alliance came out of nowhere. This is the first time I've seen this, and I actually don't read Chinese. I'm sorry. Everybody's like, oh, you Asian, you should be able to read Chinese. But no, I actually don't. I can literally read like one letter over here. It's basically saying like one. E means one, right? That's it. Like one small penis or something. So Sigma is actually the same TCP as us, even though they are a what is this? A diamond alliance or gold alliance? I can't tell. Maybe I'm colorblind. But moving over here, you look at all of these other alliances, and it's actually fairly significant. There's been a lot of changes in the meta, as well as changes in the top tier community. Super Troopers, as expected, is up there. I think they beat Baby Yoda, and now they're just called Yoda. Oh, interesting. They're just Yoda. Okay. Baby Yoda was better. But it's interesting to see how things have progressed ever since there's been a huge shakeup in the top tier war. So I know you didn't come here for war. I know you came here to see me drink and take pauses so that I can actually take a sip And cheers if you're drinking along with me on a Friday morning. It's probably what? It's like 8, 7 a.m. in the U.S. I don't know. You tell me. Toddler Yoda. Whoa, what? It's just like Groot, right? Groot grows up a little bit, and he's like, I am Groot, I'm a Groot, I am Groot. And he's going to keep going. I'm actually really excited about Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because James Gunn's last movie for the MCU, and then he just signed his life away to the DCEU. He's going to be heading up the entire revamp for DC Comics universe, whatever, which is going to be fun. I think it's a really, I mean, this is tangential, but I think the writing as a direction, as well as the mood overall of Guardians of the Galaxy is spot on. Especially, I mean, I think is actually due to probably Chris Pratt as a main actor. I mean, he was on Office, what is it? Office? The Office? And he's absolutely hilarious. He's got the comedic timing down. This is why, by the way, my favorite MCU character, if you don't know, I've mentioned this multiple times, but hey, if you don't know, it's actually Star-Lord. Because this guy doesn't give a fuck. He's just like, I'm just gonna do my thing, I'm gonna do a dance off. I mean, he's just a fun, down-to-earth god. Right, I mean, he found that out, or half god, or whatever. He found that out about later. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I'm super excited about the movie. Groot's all grown up. He has this, I don't know if it's actually in the Christmas special, if you saw it, if it's actually, I don't think it's computer animation now. It's like some dude wearing a suit. I prefer the computer animation, I think, because all of a sudden it became so fluid that I didn't actually like it. It just looked almost too not prosthetic, but too fake in the real sense, if you know what I'm saying. Because when it comes to computer animation, it's getting so much better that you believe things like Rocket. Oh my God, Rocket looks amazing. And now you got this dude walking around with shoulder pads, you know, back in the day, that's brown, and you're like, that's not the Groot, that's not the way that Groot should move as a teenager. But that's besides the point. Stop putting or taking me on tangents. This is what happens when you drink, and I talk about a bunch of crap that's not related to the game, which is fine. So, Star-Lord, awesome animation. This is the most unique animation in the entire game. I'm so glad that Scopely actually, or back then was Fox Next or whatever, actually made this happen. And he's not one of those generic characters. And that's why when GOT 3 comes out very soon, I think March or whatever, hopefully Guardians will get a rework. They absolutely need a rework. This team is such a wasted team right now. Nobody's going to build them up in the current meta if you're going to be bringing them up. So definitely Groot. I mean, Rocket should get, you've seen what's going to happen to Rocket potentially. I mean, there's no spoilers here, guys and girls, but there's potentially issues that happens in the movie. This is speculation, okay? I don't know anything outside of the trailers, but Rocket, I mean, what's going to happen to him? So this is why I really hope that Scopely revamps this entire team. And Mantis, oh my gosh, how good was that Christmas special? And Mantis actually grew into her shell. Was that a stupid joke? She actually grew into her exoskeleton. Wow, I'm gonna cheer myself to that. I actually cheers to that. She was actually really good. She was actually finally one of the main protagonists versus one of those side characters who basically just sways around like a mantis, not understanding the world and just being sort of just idiotic almost. And finally, she proved that she's actually really entertaining to watch. She's funny. She's got decent comedic timing. I wouldn't say the best. But of course, Drax, David Batista. I thought there were actually issues with him talking about something political, and then I thought they're going to pull him out of Guardians of the Galaxy. However, he's still here. He's still one of the best, I think, one of the best characters in the Guardians. He's literally like pure deadpan. Man, such good comedic timing. I don't think he originally was an actor. Dave Batista, I think he was like a MMA fighter or something like that. So this is why really I'm super excited about the Guardians movie. It's going to be the last one, at least with this roster, with this group of, at least in this current multiverse. And we're going to see Pro Wrestler. Thank you, Jacker Win. Thank you, Pro Wrestler, not an MMA fighter. So this is where I feel like Dave Batista, again, please correct me if I'm getting or butchering his name, but he is so good. He is so good as Drax. Every single time I see Drax, basically a part of Heroes for Hire or some other team in Marvel Strike Force, I think of him, and he makes me smile. And this is the thing, like he's so good at this character. And again, not only him, but also Chris Pratt as Star-Lord. And as we all know that Rocket is actually voiced by oh my gosh, the famous actor, the guy who did oh my gosh, Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper. Wow, this is what happens, kids. Don't drink. It kills your brain cells, and you can't remember anything. Yeah. So World War E. Yes. So yes. Thank you, Showtime as well. WWE. Yeah. So amazing actors. This is seriously the best group of misfits in the entire MCU. It's so funny. And I don't know if you heard recently that Thor, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. They're all done. They're all done with Taiki Waikiki. Man, it's so hard to pronounce his name. They're done with his shenanigans. So the next Thor is going to be different because the previous one, Love and Thunder, some people liked it. Most people thought it was weird or maybe too out there, too far-fetched. I was just like, it didn't actually stick with me outside of Gore, the God Butcher. Man, Christian Bale, what an actor. What a great supervillain. Holy crap. And I really hope that they actually bring Gore, the God Butcher, into this game eventually, because Christian Bale nailed it. It was funny because I was watching that movie the second time with my wife. The first time I saw it in Singapore by myself because I'm stuck here. Not for long. Next week I'll be in LA. But my wife, for the first time, she's just like, I can't even look at him. She's just like, oh gosh, why does he look so disgusting with his teeth, the rotting. I mean, he just looked and performed so well. Literally the best part of that movie. The best part of the movie, by far. And maybe the Screaming Goats. Outside of those two, there's nothing redeeming about that movie, at least from my experience. It wasn't that great. TLC said some moments were great. Love the two Thors together, but it was too over the top and disjointed. Yes. I think it's one of those movies where you go in drunk or high and it's going to be amazing. You're going to be laughing your ass off. However, if you go in and think, oh my gosh, this is going to be the next epic movie, it was not that sober. It was not that at all. You didn't actually, I didn't actually laugh a lot of the times. I'm like, there's a couple places you're just like, oh, that's sort of funny when, the beginning, and also it was in the trailers, they completely just showed it all off, and Thor just stands on that rock and goes, psh, and then basically his cape or whatever flies onto the king of that world. That was sort of funny. But also when in Olympus, was it Mount Olympus or whatever, when he went against not Odin, but Zeus, like none of that was actually really funny. I expected more out of that scene. Even though Russell Crowe did a great job, I thought. I mean, he is, at this point in his career, Russell Crowe needs to do these sort of, I don't know, like memeable characters. He can no longer be taken seriously because he's done a lot of stupid shit as an actor. I think he threw a cell phone at an attendant at a hotel. I don't know, but not a lot of people like him. Gladiator, by the way, amazing movie that defined his career. But now he needs to do funny shit. And this is why I really liked his character, and I hope to see more of him. And apparently, I'm not going to spoil it, but maybe we're going to see more of him. So, it was a mashup of the most serious Marvel movies with the least serious. Mom and Love and Thunder with them two big, yeah. Actually, Phase 4, I mean, incredible. I mean, sorry. Phase 4 was not as incredible, obviously, as Phase 3 because it's very disjoint, right? Phase 4, it's just like all over the place. It's all over the place. And then, at least recently in the box office, Wakanda Forever has literally taken the world by storm. So let me put on Wakanda. And it's such a good movie. I don't know if it's one of my favorite movies, but it's so entertaining. And also, it's one of those things where you watch it because of Chadwick Boseman, right? His passing, and it's sort of a what is that word? Not antithesis, but something that's like that makes you just God. I'm forgetting all my SAT words. Oh man, don't put me in front of a freaking SAT at this point. I don't even know. Is it all computerized? Because I used to actually, fill in the bubbles. If you remember those times. So Marvel took the wrong approach of a project every month this year. Heard they are scrapping that for the future projects because of the letdown. Well, I mean, the cadence of content that came out all the time. I mean, I actually enjoyed it, even though you're right, the quality suffered. But there were certain Disney Plus shows that impressed me. For example, Ms. Marvel. I don't know if you saw that. Ms. Marvel, the main actress, she's never acted in her entire life, but literally she owned every single scene. Her charisma just oozes off the screen. And I actually want to show that to my kids because, first of all, there's not a lot of blood and gore and whatever, but at the same time, it's a good role model as, I would say, as a different ethnicity growing up in America, which is, I went through a lot of that. And, one day, maybe a different stream, I'll get into that. I'm not drunk enough to get into that, but it made me who I am today, right? Being a minority growing up in Maryland and freaking East Coast. I mean, how many Asians are in the East Coast? Yeah, a lot in New York, but I was not in New York. Okay, Maryland. What do you go to Maryland for? You go for blue crabs, okay, and you go for the Chesapeake Bay, so basically blue crabs, and basically a bunch of pollution if you ever go into the bay. So there's really not much else, okay? I'm not dissing Marylanders, but I don't miss it at all. So yeah, WS is fantastic. Fourth, Wakanda Forever. Yes, it's definitely great. Iman Vellani is phenomenal. Yes. I'm butchering her name right now. Iman. Ms. Show definitely want more Ms. Marvel. I mean, she owned it. She killed it. And I'm very excited to watch the Marvels coming up. I think next year or whenever to see how that all ties together. Even though we all know that Brie Larson, the actress, is a pain in the ass. Have you seen that interview on YouTube with her and freaking Jeremy Renner? Oh my god! If you haven't seen that, watch it. It's literally you just see Jeremy Renner, right? Basically Hawkeye. He just like literally he can't even stand her. The amount of loathing, not even like hatred. There's just so much just disdain for Brie Larson. And this is not just them, because I heard that Brie Larson's really hard to work with in Hollywood. Okay, fine. I mean, it actually shows on screen as well, because you either loved her or you hated her as Captain Marvel. So, unfortunately or fortunately, we're going to see more of her in her buzz cut, the butch cut, which is fine. Maybe not. But if you're actually playing the Midnight Suns, by the way, I've been playing that. I always choose the longer hair version. Anyway, that's just my preference. So, I want a Young Avengers movie. Love Haley Steinfeld. I don't know who that is, Haley Steinfeld. Maybe you can link her. But Young Avengers would be epic. Man, I just want to see Squirrel Girl take down Thanos. I mean, obviously that's going to happen in MCU or anything, but Squirrel Girl, it's literally the running joke of the MCU. Or no, the Marvel, not universe, not cinematic universe, the Marvel universe, right? She's taking down every single like major supervillain from Galactus. Maybe she's taking down Apocalypse as well. It is so funny, and I love that. I love that about Squirrel Girl, and I really want to see some version of her translated into the MCU. How exactly is that going to work? I have no idea, because PETA is going to be up Disney's ass. Every single time she tosses a squirrel, it's like explodes. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine the threats that PETA is going to give Disney? It's going to be rough. Exploding squirrels, or even just squirrels just like chewing on somebody's face. That's not Disney-like. And if you play Midnight Suns, this is something where it's like a friendship / love simulator, like half of the game. And there's times where, because I come from Mass Effect, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna get it on with I don't know, Nico Minoru, or who's the other, Magic. Oh yeah, we're gonna get it on with Magic. Where's Magic in this game? She is so hot. Yeah, Magic. Wait, what is she? Uncanny? Oh yeah, she's an X-Men. Magic. Woo! So super hot in the game, and then all of a sudden she's just like, "You're my best friend," and there's some sexual chemistry. Except Disney will never allow anything surpassing PG or PG-13. Like literally, Blade in the game said shit 2 times so far. That's it, and there's been nothing else. He's part of book club, whatever. It's freaking weird, but it's such a good game. Yes, Showtime. Yes. So basically, Showtime says, can't wait until they make the movie where Steve Rogers brings back Tony with the Soul Stone. Man, that's gonna reset. We're going back in time to Phase 4. That's gonna be weird. I don't know if people would like that, but it would be fun to watch. At the same time, everybody's missing Black Widow. They want to bring back Black Widow. But it is what it is. Oops, sorry if I spoiled it for people who've never seen Phase 4 Avengers Endgame. But if you're part of that crowd who actually hasn't seen that, fuck off. You're not a part of MCU or MSF or anything, okay? Nobody cares about you because you don't exist in this multiverse. So TLC says, New Mutants wasn't a great movie, but oh, yes, 100%, 1,000%. She did a great job. Anna Taylor-Joy, is that her name, as Magic? I mean, she killed it as Magic. I mean, I never read the comics, but seeing Midnight Suns' version of Magic and then her version, then New Mutants, the movie sucked. But I think it's very similar. The way that she's very dark, she doesn't like people, stay away from, and super sexy as well. So I want to see more of that. I want to see her being a part of the MCU with a decent director, decent budget, and then seeing what she can do with Limbo and all these portals and all sorts of shit. I mean, that's such an amazing character in Marvel Comics, from my understanding. I never read them. Very, very unique, powers, because she is an X-Men. That's why she's not in a part of the MCU yet. And that's why, hopefully, very soon, maybe next year, next couple of years, we're going to see the X-Men finally converge into the MCU. And that's going to be super exciting, because the last X-Men's that showed up in the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was a letdown. That's all I'm going to say, if you haven't seen it yet. So I'm going to do one more attack, because I'm doing this for the events. And then we're going to move on from this, and we're going to talk about other fun and relevant shit. Because outside of the Death Scourge, because I know that you came here for a lot of the Death Scourge, we are going to talk about the future of the game. And let's see, I think we might have a guest. All right, anyway, I'm going to put this... By the way, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to go into my Discord server. Discord server. I'm going to be part of the voice channel. So if you pop on in, right, just a little bit, say hi, because it's all about that. It's all about communication. It's all about chatting. And this is what I do. All about chatting. So, oh man, this is a lot. So we're farming, as you can see, you might not be able to see, but we're farming the last room over here of Sigma, and we're putting a bunch of minions up against them so that we can get the event hopefully done. I don't know. We'll see. So we'll see what happens. But the other thing about this game that's really, I would say, like, I watch a lot of Marvel Strike Force content, and Tana, is complaining again, which is fine. That's what he does. He's just like, he's done whatever. He is the most outspoken content creator in all of Marvel Strike Force community, and good for him. It's great, but the thing is, dude, chill out. It's just a game. It's just a game. We just enjoy this. Why do you think I drink and play this game at the same time? Because this is just a game. It's not a job. I mean, maybe it is a job for Tana, maybe, but for other people like Valley Flying and Mobile Gamer, it is a job, which I appreciate. I 100%, 1000% appreciate it. But I don't treat this as my job. I just treat this as a hobby that we can actually enjoy together. This is why I do a lot of this content where I don't really care. I don't really give a shit. I just enjoy this game and I drink and we have a good time and we talk about all things Marvel related and maybe some parts DCEU, but I'm not a big fan of DCEU. Hopefully James Gunn will change that, right? Cheers. You know what's funny? This cup I had earlier, coffee, and now I poured whiskey into it and it actually tastes really good with a hint of coffee and whiskey. So if you ever had coffee whiskey, let me know, because this is something that's actually really good. So, Taco Shooter in the house! My favorite content creator. How's it going? I'm just talking about how, we don't do this as a living because we just shoot the shit, we drink, we don't give a shit. Taco, feel free to drop in my Discord if you haven't already, and we can just shoot the shit, man. I miss you, bro. I mean, I every single time on Saturday, my Saturday morning, your Friday night, and I can't, I literally, like, I have, like, meetings and stuff on Saturdays, or I'm literally out of my mind because I stayed up until 4 a.m. and I can't wake up in literally noon, and every time I join your stream, I'm just like, holy crap, there's a lot of stuff going on and I'm starting to have a headache and I don't think I actually deal with this. So my bad. I'm going to try to join your stream probably. I'll be in LA. I'll be in LA starting next week. So it'll be a lot easier on Friday nights. I can join. Hopefully I put the kids to bed and I'm gonna get a bottle and we're going to go at it, man. I love you, man. Like, you are seriously, like I said, like I was telling everybody earlier, you're one of the top content creators that I know of in Marvel Strike Force. And because you don't give a shit. And this is what I love about you. So, yeah, sorry, I don't have stream. I don't have fucking stream. Whatever. Let me send you the, I don't even know how to invite people. Okay, let me do Takashita. All right, invited. Boom. You just got an invite to the Drunken Tavern. I'm trying to make it a little RPG. We're trying to have fun. I'm in Gen Chat, so let's set up the chat. I mean, it's your Friday morning. Are you working? This is why. Shit shaker, shit talker, shit stalker. Yes. Bloop. This is what we do. This is what we do in Marvel Strike Force. We don't really care. We just have a good time. And I'm supposed to do this final war attack before this war ends. We're gonna put what is this? A Merc Sniper, the lowest TCP character of my roster, and I'm just gonna bloop put him in over here, and then we're done. We're done with the event. I'm not gonna spend any more time, effort, cores, whatever, to this character. So it's gonna be fun. By the way, outside of the Death Scourge, I just want to know, what else are you guys and girls focused on? What else are you looking forward to? I know we're all looking forward to Apocalypse coming, because it's been almost a year, maybe a year, and we're going to get the 4th Horseman of the Apocalypse. So when they finally do release Apocalypse, maybe in the next patch, maybe next 2, I bet you they're going to wait. I bet you they won't release the next patch. So we're going to have to wait until the 3rd quarter or something ridiculous or maybe next Christmas. I don't even know. But they're going to hold on to the saga with their dear lives, because they know that nobody has enough ISO level 4s and 5s to actually unlock Papa Apocalypse. Apocalypse? To pop to basically that version. Everybody's gonna get a bunch of baby epochs and just like baby Yodas, but nobody's gonna get pop apocalypse, and it's gonna suck. And this is why I think that they're gonna actually extend out the events, and that's super annoying. I want to go on to the next saga. What about Galactus? What about other super villains? What about like the Celestials? There's so much content that Scopely has access to. So do something about it, Scopely. Stop fucking around. Just jerking us away and every single time. Just they know that they have us wrapped around their tiny little penis. That every single time the players, we spend money and we spend a lot of time in their fucking game, and every single time they know they have us wrapped around every single digit of their existence because we are so fucking addicted. This is the most addicting game ever that I've ever played. I can't even, like, I played Marvel Snap. I'm just like, oh god, this is okay, but then I literally go back to Marvel Strike Force. I'm like, I got a blitz. Oh yeah, they literally they tune my brain to the point where basically I have to do it. It's literally like a second job, or maybe for some of us it's a first job, right? So it's crazy. So good for them mind fucking us. Which is fine, okay? Because we still enjoy it. We enjoy the mind fuck as well as the other fucks from Scopely. So it's fine. Just own it, okay? Own it. Stop being a little bitch and own it. Okay, so they still have to drop all the other strike tunes on us. Oh, that's true. That's going to take a while. Yeah, who is the fifth team? Holy crap, you're right. TLC, you're right. So that means the next patch will be a bunch of the additional 4, I think, tunes that are supposed to be for the 5th team to take on APOC. Wow. You're right. I totally forgot about that. Cockpocalypse. Oh, that's League, not MSF. Hey, Rolf. How's it going? Hey, buddy, Rolf. I'm actually going to go back to the US next week, and then I will move my entire family over here to the best place on earth, which is actually not the best. I would say the most expensive place on earth, Singapore. It actually took that award away from New York, if Sharky's still on. So Singapore's most expensive place on earth. Okay, why did I not move here earlier? I'm paying up the ass for my rent, which is fine, whatever. It is what it is, because I love Singapore. I love Southeast Asia. Soon, if you've ever been to Thailand, I've never been. I can't wait to actually be there. So it's gonna be super. I'm super excited. Holy shit, my phone service is garbage. Taco, what do you got? T-Mobile? What do you got? You gotta go with Verizon, man. The best coverage for 5G, I think. Rolf says, sweet, yeah, expensive as fuck. Yeah, it's totally expensive, but Singapore has some great things about it. And this is why I'm trying to work on new content that intermingles a lot of the Southeast Asia. Because every single time I'm telling my buddies, I'm just like, hey, I'm going to move to Southeast Asia. They're like, what's in Southeast Asia? What's in Singapore? I'm like, dude, have you been to Singapore? Have you seen that half lion, half mermaid? Have you seen what Singapore has to offer? Of course, if they never traveled outside of the US, they don't actually know. And this is why back in the day, I traveled a lot. And this is where I've been around the world. I was in Europe for 2 months backpacking by myself. And I went to 10 countries, and it was the best, literally the best experience of my entire life. Right, this is before I had a significant other. This is before I had whatever. I broke up with whoever that was. I actually forgot her name. And I went to Europe and backpacked for 2 months by myself. I stayed in hostels. It was the best experience of my freaking life. I hiked up the mountains in Switzerland, the most beautiful country, I think, in the entire world. It makes you feel like a little pissant when you're actually standing on the top of the mountain. And you're just like, holy crap. I actually cried. I teared up, and I felt very insignificant as a part of this beautiful world. So again, this is actually funny because I was talking to my coworkers about this. every single time that we are so addicted to our devices, our smart devices, it's literally sucking the life, the humanity out of us. Because I don't know, I don't do TikTok, I don't do all of these social networks, because I feel like it's a waste of time. It's entertainment value. However, it takes away a lot of time because they use AI to brainwash you to actually knowing exactly what you are into. And then that actually sucks away a lot of time from you being with your family, your significant other, your friends, etc. And of course, Marvel Strike Force already sucked the living bejesus out of me. So I need to spend more time on Marvel Strike Force versus TikTok. And this is why I have this huge sort of resentment towards these type of entertainment social networks, because I already have a second job, which is Marvel Strike Force. So why do I need to basically swipe all the time? I've already done that on Tinder many times. My right thumb hurt. Okay, don't tell my wife. So it literally hurts so much that I don't want to swipe anymore, guys. So cheers to hopefully disconnecting from this type of technology, because you don't actually get to go hiking and experience the world. You don't get to travel because we are so sucked into this digital universe. If you're going to spend money on TikTok, might as well spend on Marvel Strike Force because it's the best game in the world, right? Cheers. Catching up with the chat. I had Sprint. Oh, Sprint. Wow, my friend. Yeah, I never had Sprint. It was part of Nextel or something back in the day. I remember those huge devices. You can have a walkie-talkie. It was great. I never used it. I heard good things about it. But yeah, I think Sprint actually, after merging, it did not do well. So Tinder-thitis? Yes. Yeah. Don't, like I said, just between us, okay, and the rest of the entire internet. Yes, I had Tinderitis. Actually, another story. I actually did Tinder. So, okay, this is such a great story. So, so one of my wife's, one of our closest friends, she discovered that her boyfriend that she was living with actually was cheating on her. How did she discover it? Oh, thanks to the power of the cloud. Because he actually had a broken iPhone, and then basically he had bought a new iPhone. However, things synchronized because the screen broke. It wasn't fully broken. And one day, because he kept going on business trips to LA every single weekend. I don't know why I keep doing air quotes, but he kept going there every single weekend. She just like, okay, he's doing a startup, whatever, is great. However, one day she got suspicious and she charged up his old phone and basically saw all the text messages, iMessage, as well as actually the new apps that he downloaded, which was Tinder, as well as all the other dating apps. Super messed up, right? So after that happened, she basically saw his profile on Tinder and she sent my wife all of these screenshots. And you know what I did? I did it for her. I did it for my wife. I created a fake Tinder account. I think it was like an Asian girl. I don't know. He's definitely into Asian girls. He's got the yellow fever, which is fine, right? I'm not judging, okay? There's a lot of yellow fever going around the world. It's all good, okay? I wish somebody would have yellow fever for me, but that's besides the point. We're talking about somebody else right now. And I created a fake account. I went on Google Images. I searched for like young Asian, just because I know his type, because I know him, not well, but young Asian, big-breasted, good teeth. I think I literally searched good teeth because he talked to me about how he previously had exes who didn't have good teeth. And literally all those keywords I combined together. And I found this like really pretty girl, but at the same time, one thing, I made sure it wasn't perfect. I made sure that she didn't have every single perfect thing. There was one thing, everything was perfect about her except her teeth. There was a gap in between her front two teeth. And I just thought, you know what? It would be more believable if there's an imperfection. So I literally downloaded that, created a whole profile about, I think, I forgot exactly. I gotta dig in my history to figure out what I actually created. Maybe one day I'll share this with everybody. And I literally swiped, right? Because I knew exactly he was in LA and all this stuff. And I was actually in China. I was in Shanghai. So I was just swiping nonstop, trying to Tinder, what is that? Like Tinder fish? What is it? Whatever. Him, and trying to match with him. And literally it took me probably 2 days of swiping, and I swiped for hours. Okay, there's a lot of dudes on there. I had no idea. I was just like, previously when I tested Tinder, there's not a lot of girls. Like literally you can swipe through everybody in a few hours. There's literally so many guys on Tinder. I've never knew this. And I got just like Taco Shooter said, Tinder-itis. I had to switch to my left hand and keep going. It felt really awkward, if you know what I'm saying. If you do this all the time and you try this, it's completely different, boys and girls. So, and then finally, literally this was like in the morning right before work. I was swiping. I was like, oh God, I need my coffee. And I'm swiping with my left hand because my right hand, literally, I had to bandage it up. It was really weird. And catfish. Yeah, the Meat Gamer, catfish. So Tinder catfish, whatever. I need some word for that. I found him and I almost swiped him away. And then I'm like, wait, that's him. And pew, you go back. I think there's an undo button. But anyway, I found him. What was fucked up was that his profile pictures were the ones that was taken by his girlfriend that he's living together. It was so fucked up. I was so upset. I'm just like, oh my God, can you imagine this dude in LA? So then I liked him. And then literally within 1 hour, he liked me back. And then I waited for him to message me, and he did. He's like, hey, I forgot what he said. He's like, hey, I like your profile. And I forgot exactly what I wrote in the profile because I made it so that actually he would write back, because I think I was like, because I'm a founder of this, startup, because he's also a founder of a startup. And he literally said, oh, I think we have a lot in common. Wink, wink. I'm like, oh God. Literally every single time he responded, I took a screenshot and sent it to my wife. It was so absolutely hilarious. And it was the only way that I would get away with being on Tinder. So anyway, and then we talked, we chatted. I got to find these screenshots one of these days. And then he just like, oh, and I told them, I'm like, oh, I'm also in your neighborhood. I'm in LA or something. I didn't know about Tinder that actually shows you the distance, physically GPS location. And it said I was 3,000 something miles away. I was like, oh my God, the gig is up. I'm going to be found. And he's just like, wait, yeah, we should hang out. But it says you're 3,000 something miles away. And I'm like, oh crap, what do I respond? And I'm like, ha 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 ha. I was like, yeah, I'm on a business trip to Thailand or Singapore. I forgot exactly what I said. And yeah, I think that's about 3,500 miles away. And he's like, oh yeah, I've been there. Yeah, maybe we should go skinny dipping in the mountains in Thailand. I'm like, what the fuck? This motherfucker. Oh my God, this guy. And then I said, yes, let's meet up. And basically, as soon as that, I got all that history, that information, all that, and basically, I mean, he was already busted, but I just wanted to catfish the shit out of him, and I did, and that's my story of how I became a Tinder woman and catfished the shit out of him, and I feel very good for actually exposing, because there's no way that my wife's friend would actually say, hey, I checked out your phone. Of course not. That's invasion of privacy. However, if somebody sent her, I don't know who, we actually didn't tell her that it was me who found his profile on Tinder, then that's something. So again, boys and girls, it doesn't matter if you do it from one side or the other, but you either just be careful who you're talking to on the internet, because most likely it's going to be me catfishing your ass. Or it could be somebody else. So you never know. It could be a girl, it could be a guy, whatever. it's all fun and games until somebody gets hurt, right? And that's exactly what happened to my wife's friend. So don't do that shit. All right, don't do that shit. So that was a fun story. Let's move on. Should we talk about more Marvel Strike Force, or do you want more stories? I don't know. I'm drinking. Just like Taco Shooter, I enjoy my Friday nights. It's Friday night for me right now. It's almost midnight in Singapore. I'm having a good time. So this is what we do. This is what we do. Friday nights, we just drink and enjoy and sometimes stream. Rolf, are you still around? Do you drink? I've actually never met up with you IRL. I sort of want to meet up with you one of these days because when I move officially to Singapore, I feel like we should hang out because we want to show the Marvel Strike Force community that there's more than just the Asian faces, the Asianness in this community. Like, I feel like you're the original, the OG Asian for MSF. Right, I came up onto this hood. I'm like, oh yeah. All of a sudden, I saw Carrot Kitty, and this is another story for another time. But I love Southeast Asia. So, did I develop feeling? Sorry. Oh my gosh, you just made me laugh so hard, Taco. That my snot came out. Hopefully, it showed in 4K. But I think. I mean, literally, I don't have time for that shit. I can't talk with boys for literally like weeks at a time. Literally, I just want one and done. You know what I'm saying? Just be like, we're in Tinder, motherfucker. You want to meet up? You want to hang out? You want to do something else? Then stop beating around the bush and get in my bush. You know, that's all I said. I'm like, let's meet up, and boom. That was it. And I literally took screenshots of all that and sent it to my wife. And we didn't actually tell her because she was going through a lot of trauma. And I felt so bad for her. And I actually did not tell her that it was me. But just my wife told her that it was just, she found it through another friend, right? So it's such an amazing, crazy story. I feel like this could be like almost not a TV series, but like a short or a movie. I would love to do that one of these days because I used to work with Hollywood and all of these actors, but I'll get into that one of these days. One of these days. I think Rolf knows about what I used to do, maybe a little bit. Prince of Peace, POP, Asian Persuasion. So yeah, maybe I will get into that because I'm drinking. I don't care. I'm going to pour the rest of this 200 Singapore dollar bottle of whiskey. By the way, Rolf, I had no idea this was $200. 200 Sing dollars. This is not mine. My buddy just had it on the table, and I'm just like, I'm going to drink this whiskey. And he texted me. He's like, oh, enjoy the $200 bottle of whiskey. I'm like, holy shit, this is $200? 200 Sing dollars, which is 100, I don't know, 30 US dollars. This is why Singapore is expensive, yo. This is insane. The taxes and duties and all of this shit. Literally, oh, I want to talk about this. Boys and girls, I want to talk about moving to Singapore. The tax, just like Rolf says, is ridiculous. You know, if you're a Game of Thrones fan, are you guys Game of Thrones fans? Because I'm going to show you something. I've showed this to my previous viewers and followers, but let me show you how much I like Game of Thrones. Do you guys like Game of Thrones? Because I know I do. I have not seen the latest spin-off, but I heard Jon Snow is going to get his own spin-off as well. So this used to be me. Here we go. So over here, this is the Emmys. And this is me at the Emmys. And basically, this was me hanging out with one of the Duffer Brothers, the creator of Stranger Things. This is Elizabeth Moss, hanging out with her. If you watch Handmaid's Tale, by the way, an amazing drama series. You probably know this guy, Anders. Yeah, hanging out with him. And then this is me hanging out with. I don't know if you can recognize these people. But yeah, that's actually Daenerys. Most people can't tell because she's not blonde, but in real life, she's brunette and she's actually very dark haired. You've probably seen her in other movies. But literally, this is not photoshopped of me, motherfucker. I used to be a part of that industry, and this is why I'm done with that. I'm in Southeast Asia. I want to eventually bridge that gap between Southeast Asia and Hollywood, and through technology. And this is what I used to do, and actually I'm doing this right now, but not with Hollywood stars. So this is why. Well, I forgot how we got to Game of Thrones discussion. So let me know exactly. But it literally, it's a whole it's influence, right? This is something I want to talk about. Hollywood has penetrated every facet of our society, and not just the U.S. society, obviously, but outside of it. So I've been in Asia for 9 years, and it's all about Marvel this, Marvel that, da 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 da. And one of the funny things is that actually China blocked all Marvel movies, starting with Shang-Chi, Eternals, and basically no more Marvel films are actually being released in China because they think that the government thinks that it's actually influencing too much of American culture, which is crazy, right? Because we grew up American. I mean, I'm American, right? I'm a U.S. citizen, motherfucker. Where's my passport? Check this out. Look, I'm not a CCP member. I got a U.S. passport, motherfucker. Sorry, Ralph. Yeah, sorry. By the way, I do want citizenship in Singapore because then I can travel freely, and I don't get double taxation, which is the worst part about being a U.S. citizen. So outside of that, yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. So Asia. So the facet of this is how far-reaching, just like smoking, like Camel. You get them while they're young. My kids, they are so into Disney. They are so into Frozen, right? My daughter and my son, he's only 2. He is so into cars, like Disney cars, that it blows my freaking mind. It blows my freaking mind. I try to actually remove cars from all the toys, and he naturally, this is like innate. This is humans and how we were born. He literally, I had 2 Hot Wheels. Everything else was my daughter. She's 5. All of these, princesses and whatever. And he didn't play with any of that stuff. He literally played with the 2 Hot Wheels. I'm like, what the fuck? This is nature versus nurture. This is amazing stuff that's happening right now. I'm literally having an experiment, a hypothesis, saying, hey, I don't believe in this shit. I'm going to see if my son gravitates towards princesses because there's so many princess toys and Barbies or whatever, and he didn't. Amazing. I mean, this is why, we are who we are, and it's okay to be who we are. This is why, by the way, don't get me started on Duartic. Do not get me started on Duartic. Taco Shooter, hold me back, bro. Do not get me started on that motherfucker. Holy shit. So TLC says, did you show them did you show them Into the Spider-Verse? Yes. No, that animation is the best animation I've ever seen. My kids are too young for that yet. They're still in the Barbie phase and all that. So eventually I will bring them into the Spider-Verse. And the new one, I think the trailer just dropped. I think it's like, I forgot what, something Spider-Verse. I haven't seen it. Don't spoil it. I'm super excited. I'm super excited about that movie. So did I 7-star AA? What the hell is AA? What the hell is AA? You gotta let me know. What is AA? There's so many acronyms. Stop giving me shit about not remembering the acronyms. What's AA? It's like Archangel. Did I 7-star a Horseman before the Death Scourge launch? I wish I did. I am prepped. I am totally prepared for this. My minions, because we were supposed to talk about this. Ravagers and Merc. That's it. That's all you need. Don't listen to Dorky Dad and what he did with the shield, because he had multiple disclaimers saying don't do what he just did, even though thousands of people saw it and still did it. Maybe a few hundred. I don't know. I keep burping right now, so that's why I have pauses. I apologize. It's the whiskey. I blame it on the alcohol. Okay? So you'd be surprised. I took a 3-year-old son. It was his first movie. Really? Still, what? Okay, TLC, because of what you just said, I will show my son when he turns 3 Into the Spider-Verse, and let's see what he thinks. I mean, I love that movie. I love the music. Obviously, the animation is the best animation I've ever seen in my life. And wow, Like, that's all I can say. I am flabbergasted. I don't even know what to say about that movie because it's so freaking good. I showed my wife. She's just like, oh yeah, there's too much flashing going on. And then she really got into it. I'm like, I told you so, even though she smacked me for saying that, but whatever. General, that I did shield before Dorky said anything. Really? Because you probably had shield already built up? Or did you just want to bring shield because you thought that shield was going to be included in the fifth horseman or whatever, team that actually unlocks Apocalypse? That's a good question for you. I want to know because I did not think about shield. I thought about hand because Nobu was upgraded, was re-released with new stats. Does that mean that his hand minions? I mean, I'm not talking about reworks or whatnot. That eventually they want to give us reworks of hand. Who knows? Who knows? It's great for boys and girls. My daughter loves Gwen. Oh my gosh, Gwen, one of my favorite characters of the Spider-Verse. You are right. Man, I'm super excited. How old is your daughter? My daughter is 5, turning 6, so definitely I think she's gonna really love it. I haven't introduced them to the Spider-Verse. As soon as we move to Singapore, I will. I think taking your cue, I'm going to show them into the Spider-Verse, and I can't wait to watch that movie again. Me being very selfish because I love the MCU and I love all things like Spider-Verse is not my favorite character, but look, this is my phone. This is literally my phone background. I have because it's really cool. So we dressed up as Spider Family for Halloween. Woo! Is my name related to electric toothbrushes? Wait, who? Like all of a sudden it's like maybe. I mean, that's the first time I heard of that, but that's okay. Hey, Call Daddy TV, thank you for the raid. Thank you for the raid. How's it going? Gleam.com. What the hell is Gleam.com? Is that safe for work? Is that safe for work? Oh my gosh, you're right. It is toothbrushes. That's weird. But the thing is, drinking and brushing does not mix. Because if you drink whiskey and you try to brush it off, if you have fillings, you're fucked. Right? This is what happens. Do not pass out if you have fillings and you don't brush, because it will actually dissolve your fillings. That actually happened recently, and my tooth hurts because of that. So do not drink whiskey like I am right now and pass out and not brush. Okay? Personal hygiene for y'all. Remember that. So again, going back to Spider-Verse, I cannot wait. Like, I don't know if you guys are playing Midnight Suns or not. It's such a great game. And the Midnight Suns, as well as Spider-Man, I think I'm one of the few people who thinks the voice acting is really, really decent. Even though all the reviewers said that it's so bad, of course. But they're comparing to MCU versions of the characters. So Call Daddy says, yikes, your minions are way better than mine. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm a fucking kraken, whale, whatever. Okay, I admit it. Don't worry about it. Just be prepared to build this team. Because this is from my understanding, one of the only teams who can actually go up the ladder of difficulty for the Death Scourge that's starting in literally 5 hours. So don't build shield. Don't build shield. Don't build hand. Don't build any other minions. Don't build Kree. Come on. Why do you want to build Kree? Don't build aim. Then again, I heard that aim can actually do difficulty 8 by themselves or something. I heard something to that effect. So if you already built aim, great, good for you. I think you'll be fine. If you want to be sort of just trying to get 6 or 7 yellow stars, 6 or 7, no. You want to be super competitive. If you're super competitive on this team or on the death raids or scourge, then you should think about doing that team. So you look at this preview. Okay, so we got rankings. If you really want a 7 yellow star, you need to be top 500. And I gotta say, there's multiple people in my alliance that will probably try to get that. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be one of them. I'm gonna say it right now. I'm not gonna be refreshing nodes 5 and 10 for 200 times. I don't have the patience. I don't have the time. All I know is that I'm just gonna go in and probably my first